Ladies and gentlemen, the Inferno Part 3 has finally come to an end, which means that I have myself a new rank 4.
Yeah, boy.
Before I reveal who it is, I do want to give a bit of a rundown on how the competition went. Now the challenge this time around was facing Winter Soldier with a 6 star at rank 2 or lower, with no synergies, no suicide masteries, no boosts if your champion is at 6 star rank 2 and ascended, just to kind of make up for the difference in ascension. We also have a penalty tier list where if a champion is in the Inferno tier, then that means that 20 extra seconds will be added to their fight duration, and if they're in the mild tier, then only 10 extra seconds will be added. The rewards this time around were 1. Choosing which champion I take to rank 4, 2. $10 US, and 3. Me making any video that you want. Whoever comes first chooses one of these 3 rewards, second place takes one of the remaining 2, and third place pretty much takes what's left. I also made it so that the top 5 participants will be included in the next account reviews video, but enough of the yapping, let's see how you guys did. Coming in at spot number 10, we have a run from Hela and Ting Tang. Now we have both of them here because they finished their runs at roughly the same amount of time, though you will see later on that iHulk does finish much faster. This is because he's in the Inferno tier where 20 extra seconds would be added, and if he wasn't penalized, then we'd basically just be seeing iHulk gameplay the whole video. For now, the damage being dealt isn't that impressive, but as soon as both of these champions throw a special 2, you'll see how fast Winter Soldier melts. And for Beta Ray Bill, you want to throw it while charging it for a couple of seconds in order to gain the buff pause, which allows you to deal a lot more damage. Right now it does seem that iHulk is way ahead, almost taking Winter Soldier down to 40% health, but that's pretty much to be expected. Once Beta Ray Bill starts throwing the special ones, you'll see that the gap isn't actually that big. Which is funny to say since iHulk just finished the fight while the horse still has 70% left to take down. With 2 special ones from the horse and Winter Soldiers down to about 60% health, this final special one should do just enough damage and call it GG's on this fight. And with a nice 189k burst from the special one, we end both of their runs off in only 1 minute and 14 seconds. Spot number 9 is also shared between 2 people, Sky218 using CGR, and Oil Skies My Mod using iHulk. This is the second time we're seeing an iHulk run, and trust me guys, it's not the last. I think I should even put an iHulk counter just so that you guys can see, but now both iHulk and CGR have a 20-second penalty since they're in the Inferno tier, but the fact that they managed to reach the top 10 is a little bit crazy. Now the rotation being used for CGR is basically just going for special 2s, which is a little bit odd to me. I'm no CGR expert myself, but maybe the special 3 rotation would have been faster with the whole 6 aptitude buffs and all that. I don't know. Still, the damage being done here is great. iHulk is a little bit in the lead, but one more special 2 from CGR, the fight will pretty much be over. And with that, both champions complete their run in only 59 seconds, plus 20 seconds of course due to the penalty. Spot number 8, finally not an iHulk run. We have Epico using Red Magneto and the Mr. Banana Man using Namor. Now a smart play that I'm seeing here from the Mr. Banana Man is that his Namor starting at 20% health. I assume this is so that he can deal more damage using the Courage Mastery, and if it is, then that's a pretty great move. Now both of these champions do take quite some time to ramp up. Namor wants to do medium light mediums to build up his outrage charges, and Red Magneto wants to heavy spam in order to build up as much prowess as possible. With both champions now having 3 bars of power, Red Magneto throws his immediately, which allows him to inflict very juicy Sharpnel bleed debuffs that are currently ticking for 12,000 per second. Damn. And now at the top, Namor has finally begun to make his move, and I'm seeing here at the bottom that the bleeds detonated for a big 142,000, which leaves Winter Soldier at less than 30% health. Okay, the damage that I'm seeing here is beyond normal. He throws a special 2 that crits on each hit and doing 97k at the last hit. What in the Marvel content? But that brings us to the end of their runs, finishing in only 1 minute and 9 seconds. Very impressive. Spot number 7, we've got Zabas using iHulk. Yep, this is the third time we're seeing him now. Now what I'm seeing here is that he does a medium attack, waits for a couple of seconds, and then basically continues with a combo, which allows him to build up one more rage stack than normal, which is a pretty good strategy. These rage stacks pretty much allow all your rage attacks to deal more damage, which is basically the big red numbers that you see from the medium attacks. And with the maximum amount of stacks, they deal about 16,000 damage. We do manage to deal more than 16,000 due to the Hulk relic placing a physical vulnerability debuff, to the point where they even deal 18,000 damage. With more than half of Winter Soldier's health down, all we need to do is build up to another special 2, and the stun should allow us to take him down in only a couple of medium attacks. 24,000 damage per medium attack. I honestly should have given him a 30-second penalty, cause my goodness. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Winter Soldier is down in only a minute and 5 seconds. A very clean run. Spot number 6, and yep, you've guessed it, another iHulk run. This one comes from Haros. Link to his channel will be down in the description. And luckily enough, this is the last iHulk run that we're gonna be seeing today. Now just like the last run, he is doing the medium pause medium combo, which does allow him to deal more damage much faster. Before throwing the special 2, you do want to throw a heavy attack so that you can double the amount of rage stacks that you have, and once the opponent's stunned, then you pretty much just go crazy. And I hope they buff Winter Soldier because this whole competition's about bullying him. Very sad stuff, my bad. Not even giving Winter Soldier a chance to do anything, he throws the striker, immediately goes for the special 2, and just like that, ladies and gentlemen, in only 1 minute and 2 seconds, the fight is done. Spot number 5, we have Helatard using Carnage and Boko Guy using Domino. With Carnage, the plan is simply to spam special 1s and build up as many bleed debuffs as possible, which will deal a lot more damage the longer the fight goes on. He also has a power gain that allows him to quickly build up to 1.9 bars of power, and it's kinda funny how from this point forward, Winter Soldier won't even throw a single special attack. As for Domino, the plan is to build up to 3 bars of power and pretty much throw it while we're lucky and the opponent is unlucky, which will allow her to inflict a critical bleed debuff which deals around 20,000 damage per second. The bleeds for Carnage are currently doing 5,000 per tick, and we've pretty much got ourselves a good loop going here. But back to Domino, we already have Winter Soldier at less than 50% health, and all we need to do now is throw some special 1s in order to refresh the critical bleeds until he's taken down. They do finish their fights at roughly the same amount of time, but the damage coming from Carnage doesn't really seem normal. 1 minute on the dot. Spot number 4 is a run from one of the most controversial figures in the MCOC community, only if you know him, Mohammed. Here he's using Hyperion that's in the Inferno tier, which means that 20 extra seconds will be added, but even so he managed to reach the top 5 with ease. The plan here is simply to throw as many heavy attacks as possible in order to gain as many Furies as we can, and currently with more than 8 Furies, the damage is insane. Not only that, but the RNG is just crazy. Every special 2 thrown pretty much inflicted a stun on the opponent. Wow. Where do you guys even get such RNG, man? I gotta know. But just like that, in only 59 seconds, the training dummy has been defeated. spot number 3, we have Childish Almino hitting every single intercept against Winter Soldier. How is that even? I'm telling you, man, the Realm of Legends AI is something else. The game plan here is to simply end our combos with light attacks so that we can gain one of these random buffs at the top, which basically give our special attacks more damage and effects in different ways. We do take some hits here, pushing us to a special 2, and with a couple of hits, 98,000 crit, followed up with some basic attacks that not even a rank 4 leader can do. With the armor break about to expire, we throw the striker into another special 2 that crits for 137,000 damage. What? And to end the fight, all we need is some basic attack hits with a 66,000 special 1, and that's the fight down in only 56 seconds. Damn. Spot number 2, we have the Summoner's Choice Champion of 2023, once regarded as one of the worst champions in the game, being used by Kai. What we want to do here is throw heavies to place Intimidate passives on Winter Soldier and hit him so that we can actually gain some confidence buffs, which allows us to ignore Winter Soldier's special attacks and deal bursts of damage like you're seeing right here. The longer the special attack animation, the more bursts of damage that you can do, and against Winter Soldier, he's here at spot number 2 for a reason. Already down to less than 50% health, all we need to do is spam special ones, gain the unstoppable buff, and dance during Winter Soldier's special attacks in order to take him down. 12,000 damage per move through the special attacks, and with one more special attack from Winter Soldier, we take him down in only 55 seconds. And the winner of the third Inferno competition, I present to you a Gamora run from my boy Saiyajin. Her basic attack hits grant her a Cruelty or Fury buff based on whether it's a light or medium attack, and her heavy attack allows her to refresh them both. Now she is a bit of a ramp up champion, which means we'll have to hit the opponent quite a bit, but with how potent those buffs are, yeah, 17k crit from the last hit of the special 2. It also applies armor break debuffs, which means we're going to be dealing a lot more damage overall, and with around 14 fury buffs, we're dealing the damage of a maxed out 6 star. Now we build to one more special 2 while throwing in some heavies to keep the buffs refreshed, stand up intercepts as well into another special 2. What can I even say, man? You can see the damage for yourself. Ending it with a 45k crit from the special 1. Wow, man, just wow. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of the runs. Now it's time for the rewards. Now because Saiyajin came first, he basically gets to choose one of the 3 rewards, and the one that he chose is choosing my next rank 4. Drum rolls please. Rank 4 Spider-Man. Yep. I will leave some gameplay at the end for those of you who want to see that, but for now we move on to the second winner. Kai gets to choose between $10 and any video that he wants, and he takes the video option, but the video idea is kinda, I get it, so this may be his favorite champion, but I mean, Childish Almino came third, meaning we sent him $10. Call me Mr. Beast. And boom, just like that. For those who came in the top 5, I will include their accounts in the next account reviews video. And that's pretty much it for the Inferno. Thank you all so much for joining. It was so much fun. I think we had around 25 participants. If you enjoyed it and want to see more, do let me know down in the comments. Make sure to join my Discord group. The link will be down in the description. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.